Chase Jackson, founder of Energy Easy, providing personal and professional vitality with our second book review in our book review series. This is on The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. This book centers on a main character, Howard Rourke, and his story and journey to ignore all outside conditioning by the modern world and stick with his beliefs and his thirst for greatness. This book is really controversial in terms of a lot of people really like it, a lot of people don't like it. I'm kind of in the middle. I thought there was a great number of awesome ideas and ideals that she had in there, but also it's really long. I'm not really the biggest fan of super long books. And also, a lot of it kind of turns into a philosophical rant. But there's a lot of good parts in the book that really stick with you. So that's why I am doing the review, is because the good stuff for me definitely outweighs the bad. History on the author, Ayn Rand. She's a straight up beast. She came over here from Russia at the age of 21 when her family was devastated by the Bolshevik Revolution. And because of that devastation, she kind of brought with her into the United States this strong will and set of ideals that we are who we are, and no one else can try and take that away from us. Awesome American immigration story. The book's like 700 pages. I'm not going to really talk too much about the plot and such, but I am going to go into a few of the really big ideas that I really enjoyed about it, and that's what I really enjoyed about the book. The Fountainhead, book review. Greatness and the quest for greatness is a huge theme throughout this book. Rand speaks about in the introduction about her dedicated audience is for those that are on their quest for greatness, as they are the ones that truly give life its meaning. I love the word greatness. It's a big part of my life. I have it tattooed in giant letters across both my arms. My kind of purpose statement in life includes the word greatness. I believe my purpose is to lead my family to greatness. Maybe that is what kind of got me into this book, got me excited about it when reading the intro, and got me into finishing it, even though it is long and ranting. So note to self that when you get into the Fountainhead, that you're gonna, at some parts you're gonna be like, oh, what is this? Keep going through it. As I'm a big idea person, and as I went through it, I was able to step back, and I really love the idea of greatness. So if you are someone who is on the quest for greatness or appreciates greatness, and no matter what realm, whether it's athletically or musically or politically or as a parent, The Fountainhead is an awesome book to read. Quest for Greatness. The I in I love you. Rand talks about how important it is that before we can fully love someone else, it is important that we love our own selves and we know who we are, and we have taken the time and effort to kind of look within and recognize our own strengths and weaknesses and blessings and faults, so we can work on these before we can go out and show love to others. Take care of our inside before we take care of the outside. I really dug that part of the book. I think it's a right-on kind of philosophy. And before we can fully give our love to other people in the world, we must love ourselves and give it to ourselves. And I just really dig it. Show me your achievement. There is a segment in the book where one of the characters, Mallory, is talking to the main character, Rourke, and she is telling him to not tell her what he is doing, to not talk about his achievements, but to just show her. And by demonstrating to her what he is doing and how he is living, it will stick with her and be much more beneficial to her moving forward. And I thought this was an awesome point made in the book. that a lot of people love to talk about what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people love to talk about the problems in the world and what they would do to fix them, yet there's no action taken and there's no demonstration. And Rand makes a great point in the Fountainhead just about how much more impactful it is to demonstrate your philosophy on life and how you want to live and who you want to be and who you want others to be and how you want life to be rather than talk about it. Because people are going to recognize that and it's going to be much more impactful than one of us just saying it. I also really dig it from a parenting perspective in that I feel like it is much more meaningful for my kids that I act a certain way rather than the words that are coming out of the mouth. Words that are coming out of my mouth because I think a lot of times they're not hearing it anyway, but there's no way that they can ignore my actions in itself. So show me the achievement, another great idea from the Fountainhead. Be about it, don't talk about it. Love the doing. Rourke, you must be a man that gets things done, but you need to be worried about the doing and the action itself rather than the secondary consequences. And I thought this was another awesome point in the book where Rand talks about that on our quest for greatness or on our quest for getting better at things or whatever it is, it's really important that we embrace the journey and the process and just kind of the everyday responsibilities that it takes for us to reach the climax, right? To embrace the plateaus and embrace the journey itself, embrace the doing of the work. I know I relate to this personally in that over the last 3 years I've been learning Mandarin, and I'm proud of myself for getting to this point, but it is a very grueling process, and I've really kind of learned to embrace the journey rather than the outcomes, because the outcomes are very few and far to between. I'm a slow learner in that sense. But just the overall idea of embracing the doing is, I think, a really awesome take and a great way to live life. Because if we're embracing the process, then we can really kind of embrace every single thing we do. Whether that's any kind of mundane task that was mundane before, if we embrace it as a way, as the reason that we are doing this task to get better and to live life a certain way, then that task becomes a lot less mundane. So, great take from the Fountainhead, embrace the doing. A character in the book, Tommy, says to Rourke, "What do you think of me?" Rourke says, "I don't." And to put some context in that, Tommy had spent his entire life trying to destroy Rourke, yet Rourke stayed in his own lane, focused within, and stayed oblivious to all Tommy's actions. Individuality is what Rand is getting across with this point, and that is what another awesome take that I found from this book is that I think it's really important that we stay true to who we are and to show our self-expression in as many different ways as possible and be authentic and disregard what other people say about us, whether it is positive or negative. So, individuality, if someone tries to take you out, don't worry about that. Stay focused on yourself. The Fountainhead. So in this review, I just talked about the 3 or 4 main ideas that I really enjoyed from the book. You know, over here we are always trying to keep it positive. Overall, this book on a scale between 4 and 17, we'll give it about a 12. Really like the big ideas. Did not like the length of the book. It's really long. It's 700 pages. Did not like the ranting style a little bit. And I'm also someone who doesn't really read novels. The intro is kind of really what got me into this book moving forward, so I figured I'd plug away. I'm also someone who finishes what he starts. So overall, The Fountainhead has some awesome, inspiring themes in the book, but if you could take them from a review or this video, then I would do that instead of spending a few hours reading the whole book. Chase Jackson providing personal and professional vitality. Book review on The Fountainhead.